Hello.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Hello.
Today, I don't know what happened yesterday, but I recorded a class. I think the problem is from Zoom. It didn't record everything. In fact, it didn't record at all. I don't know why it happened. Today, I'm going to monitor it very well to see what went wrong. So now it is recording again. Now, if you can see from the screen that it is recording. So let us see what today again. What will happen. Now, before we begin, is there any question for me? No question. Good.
No. Good evening. My name is Rita. And my question was, now it appeared that we're getting our assignments from 2 or 3 different places. Because go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's only from 2 places, from Alex and from Canvas. So okay. In the Alex, you have all the assignments, quiz, test, and homework. Then in Canvas, you have only the discussion question, and then project, and then the Excel assignment. So I'll put it this way. In Canvas, you have the discussion question, projects, and Excel assignments. Then in the rest of the assignment are in the Alex. Does that answer your question?
Yes. I think I did both, but I was a little confused. And then I got a question from someone else asking me. And so I said I would make sure for my own self, you know, online and written assignments. And I did Alex, and I had to go back and do Canvas because I thought Alex had just all the assignments. And then once I went back, I said, okay, follow directions and read everything.
Okay, so because I posted a direction on the
Okay, good. I was a little confused, but I think I have it. It's a lot, but I think I have it.
Good. So now I can share my screen. Let us begin.
For old lady, okay.
I don't know about that, man. We are all sometimes the online class at the beginning. That's when.
Professor, I got a question right face about the due date for the first homework. It passed because it was on Achilles, right?
Hold on 1 minute. You say it again.
The due date for the first homework, like it passed already.
Yeah, it did. It passed on last Sunday.
So am I still allowed to return it in and get a point reduction or whatever, or it's closed?
Did you just join the class or recently, or because the homeworks were there from Monday last week?
Okay.
And I posted an announcement that they'll be due on Sunday. So you didn't see the announcement?
Yeah, I did, but okay.
I posted a new one. The one that I do this week. They are all due on this coming Sunday. So,
okay.
Any other question for me?
Yes, thank you.
All right, this is graph and charts. So we'll be covering this today. Histogram, bar charts, pie charts, and stem and leaf plots. Now, let's start with the histogram. In a histogram, this length is basically a bar graph. And the length of the bars represent the frequency. To construct a histogram, you need the class, intervals, and the frequency. Now, sometimes you might be given a raw data and you'll be asked to construct a histogram. There's a way you can do it in Excel, but the one we'll be focusing on is the one we'll be using now. You can use Excel to do it. So now, from your previous question on the data set for the prices of GPS, we already have a class interval and frequency. So all we have to do is to, once you bring them together, we use our pen and pencil to draw it. For the first one, class we have 59 to 114, you draw the bar graph all the way to 5. And for the class of 115 to 170, we draw the graph to 8, and so on and so forth. Now, but because we are using Excel and we are not in the classroom, so Excel make it much more easier for us to draw it. So I'm going to show you how to do it in Excel, which will be the, I'm sure you're going to like it because it simplifies the whole process. The only difficult part, if you want to do it in Excel, is when you want to put this in the data entry part, to put the numbers in Excel. That's the only difficult part. Once you type in the numbers correctly in Excel, the rest is a piece of cake. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. So let me take you to Excel where I put this data in. You can see we have it here already. The class interval, just give me 1 minute. Let me put this together. The class interval is which one? I think it's GPS prices. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, it's the GPS prices. Okay, good, very good. So I typed in these numbers in Excel. Can you see this? Hello, class?
Yeah.
So let me put it where it can be more clear. I'm gonna copy this and move down a little bit and paste them here. So this is the class. So instead of using the pen and pencil, you can just use the Excel. Again, if you're using Excel, the only difficult part is typing in the numbers in. Once the numbers are in, you are good to go. So now it says, according to the question says, and that's how you might see it in the homework. The homework might ask you to construct a frequency histogram or just a histogram for this data set. So like I said, you need only this part and the frequency, which I have typed in, as you can see from here. Now, next thing is to highlight all of them from here to here. Then click on Insert. So next is, you can see this small chart here. It represents the histogram or a bar chart. As a matter of fact, a histogram is a special type of bar chart where the bars are together. You click on it and select one of them. See, it is drawn now. So once you have it, you can now format it, because in a histogram, the bars should be close together. So let me bring it down where we can format it. See, now what you're gonna do is to, but this chart represents the prices of GPS. You see where we have a plus sign. As a matter of fact, it's different from, it varies from computer to computer. Now, some computer will show you this, but the principle is still the same. Highlight them and click on the bar chart icon, and then it will control the bar chart for you. You click on this plus sign, and you put the axis title. So this is for, I think 1 minute. I think it stopped sharing this. Okay, I'm gonna share it again. Good. So when you click on this, you type, this is the prices of, I just call it GPS prices. GPS prices in dollars. And on the axis side, this one is the number of GPS. Number of GPS. Or you can just call it frequency. You can call it frequency, number of GPS. So either you call it number of GPS or you can just call it the frequency. Now, this will be the prices. Prices. Okay, in dollars. So for a histogram, like I said, all the bars should be together. So how do we do that? There's if you're using I think if you're using a Excel Windows 2010, it will give you a histogram icon, but my own doesn't give you that. So what I have to do is to format it. You click on any of the bars, and then right click on it. Once you right click on it, it brings you this dialog box. Then you can choose this one, format data series. Click on it, and then it will bring you something out. I think this is blocking it. So it brings this out. So you right click on it and choose format data series. It brings this out. You can see where you have gap width. You close it. Yeah. See, it is closing now. I can continue from here. Continue closing it until they are together. Okay. And that is a histogram right there.
For some reason, I didn't see what you were clicking to make it bigger.
Oh, okay.
And I pray we got step-by-step instructions.
Yeah, in the handout, there's step-by-step instructions. It's true.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
can you look all the way to your right?
Yeah, I can see it, but when you like made the data really big.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let me do it again.
Okay, so where did you click?
See where you have I say you have a gap width. See that?
No, I don't see the.
Can you see the whole thing on the left and right side here?
Yeah, can you enlarge it a little bit?
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
Yes, enlarge it.
Mm.
If I enlarge it, it will only enlarge the inside of this place, not the.
I was talking about the outside.
Yeah, it will only enlarge the inside, but not the outside. But look at this here. Like I'm gonna move slow. Can you see my hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Take it to this side. See where it is now. You can see the drop down menu right there. Can you see it? Right?
Yeah.
So
click and hold
the numbers.
Yeah, click and hold. The number will be going down. As the numbers are going down, it will be closing. See?
Yeah.
Closing now. Or if you want to move faster, you can click on the icon itself and drag it down by yourself. See?
Yep.
And then, close it there. I will leave stop at 3. 3 is good enough. That's a histogram right there. Now, if you are doing a project where you have to put this, you are typing something about this, like the one you do in your project, and you want to put this histogram and talk about it, all you have to do is to, I'm going to close this place now, is to click on it here and press Ctrl+C. That means copy. Then you can go to the project where you have been typing something, right? You have been typing. Can you see my project? Can you see my
yeah.
Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Then Ctrl+V, it will paste it there.
Oh, okay. Then
you can now type. Okay, you can see from this histogram that. Let me comment on it. Because in statistics, once you analyze, when you have to interpret your data, you can see that most of these GPS, the one that is more popular, are the one that cost between $115 to $226. Am I right? Because they have the highest frequency, 8.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. So now if this is so you can say that the GPS let me make it bigger so you can see. I'll call it the popular one, the GPS that sold most or that are more popular are those in the price range of I would say $115 to $226. $115 to $222. Sorry, $226. Now, one that sold less are the one in the price rate of $339. Actually, $339 to $394. Now, of course, you know, a journalist can write a whole article about this small thing, but for us, we just give you the short interpretation. Just tell me what you feel you understand by the way your chart looks like, and then you'll be good to go. Questions?
In the homework too, there is a number, and it says find the class boundary from 54 to 64. And that's all it says. It doesn't have anything else. That's the question. And I was really confused because I don't know how to.
Class boundary. I think we did that yesterday. Let me show you. Before they can ask you that question, there could have been a question that it does come from that. Like that means the question comes from it's a part of a question. They must have given a chart like this somewhere, right?
No, there was no chart. That's why.
In the homework too?
Nope. Can you check it out and then see? And it's an ALEC homework too.
Usually, are they whole numbers?
Yeah, it was 54 to 64.
54 to 64. Now, usually, like I explained yesterday, when they're a whole number like that, all you have to do is to subtract 0.5 from the left side and add 0.5 to the right side. That should take care of it.
Right.
If they're a whole number like this, yes. So otherwise, to get it, you subtract the last the upper class interval of the first class from the lower class interval of the second class to get the difference, and that difference you divide by 2. Then the answer you get from that is subtract it from left side to get the class boundary for the left interval. The left lower class interval, and add the same number to the upper class to get the upper class interval. Yeah. So now you see they did the same thing with drawing here, and here in the PowerPoint, the step-by-step method I explained what I just did, and so you can see them here, and you see that the chart looks exactly like the one we have in Excel here.
What's the broken axis?
Broken axis. Well, it is called a broken axis because if you look at here, the x-axis, it didn't start from 0. The prices did not start from 0.
Right.
So because of that, they put broken axis on this part to show you that it did not start at 0 with 0.
Right.
0. So let me show you where it is. It is right here. See, they make it like this to show that this part of the chart did not start from 0 because the prices of GPS did not start from 0. They start from $58. Right. I mean, nobody will make we spend so much money to make a GPS and then give it to you as $0. Nobody can do that. So they have to. So you don't have to start from 0 and move all the way to the end, then start from $58 all the way to the end. So the best way to do it is to use a broken axis. That's why they did it. Any other questions?
So you working out of Pearson?
Yeah. Because we use the Pearson textbook.
Where? I didn't see the Pearson textbook.
Are you talking about the one in the screen?
It's not on my canvas.
Yes, it is. Remember you asked me this last time. I told you that you have to go to the files section and download it from there. Yeah. This is it Vanessa, right?
No, this is Rita.
Rita. Yeah. Remember I showed you, was it yesterday?
No.
How you go to the canvas and click on files. Want me to show you again? I can show you again if you want.
No, you didn't show me. You probably showed another student, but
okay, let me show you again. It's gonna be there every week. I'm gonna be putting something there that we'll be covering. So I should better show you now. So are you ready?
Yes.
So of course you know how to log into your BCC Canvas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go there now. Can you see the screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now I will there. You log in. Let me log in from the Canvas first. Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry to bother, but remember you said we just need to do the minus 0.5 for the class boundary. For the two whole numbers, 56 and 64. I tried it, but it says it's wrong.
For the upper class and the lower class.
Plus 0.5 from the lower class and add 0.5 to the upper class. Is that what you did?
So you add 0.5 to the upper class
and subtract 0.5 from the lower class.
Okay.
Now, Miss Rita, right?
Yes.
See where it shows files. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Click on that.
I did.
Open the page. Now you scroll down, start looking for lecture 2.
Lecture 2.
Can you see it here? Lecture 2, frequency distribution and graphs.
Mm-hmm.
I also explained these steps in my announcement for week 2 activities and assignments. See? You see what it is? Can you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. So you can click and download it from there.
Frequency distribution and their graphs.
Yeah, you have to click on it and download it. That's why where the lecture PowerPoint comes from. Okay.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So now, I have shown you how to get the frequency histogram. Now, let me show you how to get the frequency polygon. A frequency polygon looks like this. It's a line graph. It serves the same purpose as the histogram. Except that the histogram is a bar graph, but this frequency histogram is a line graph. Both of them shows frequencies, you know. Now, another difference is that for frequency polygon, you are plotting you'll be plotting the midpoint against the frequency, not the class intervals. So you plot the midpoint against the frequency. Again, if you're using Excel, it simplifies the process. The only difficult part is to type in the data set. So let us type it in. We have this place says, you can look at the question here. It says, construct a frequency polygon for the GPS navigator frequency distribution. So we only needing this midpoint and the frequency. That's what we need to type into Excel. So let me take you there.
Question. Did you teach us already how to find the midpoint?
Yes, we did it yesterday.
Oh, okay. I think I didn't get it. That's why I was wondering.
You just add these two numbers and divide by 2. That will give you the midpoint.
If you look on YouTube, it'll really.
All right, thank you.
Now, I was speaking to my classmate. If you look on YouTube and look up frequency distribution, it'll explain it to you like really, really clearly, like vividly, like how to find the midpoint, the upper class, the lower class boundary. Like it'll help you really, really good. It'll put it all together for you. I promise. No problem.
Okay, now so back to this one. So now like I said, we're gonna be needing these two midpoint and the frequency. So we go there and I'll take you to Excel again. Move to Excel where I have put the numbers in. You can see from here, I have the midpoint and I have the frequency. Can you see that?
Yes. Did you provide the formula for the Excel spreadsheet?
Excel spreadsheet. What formula do you mean?
The formula for the frequency. You have to put in the formula.
Formula for?
You know, yesterday how you were like plus equal.
Oh, yesterday that was when we were trying to get the midpoint.
Right.
So here we did that yesterday, but I left this one because we need it for today's charts. Today we are drawing the charts only. Does that answer your question? Hello?
I think Marze or Marche.
Yeah, no, because when you just go on to Excel regularly and you start to type that, it won't find the midpoints automatically. Isn't there something that you're supposed to input to make it calculate that properly?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't gotten the midpoint already, then you have to calculate it. But we already calculated it, so that's why I left it here. Otherwise, you can just get it from here if you want. I can.
The grid.
Okay, if I want to get it if I want to do it that way, in that case, we can copy this, go down and paste it, then get the midpoint. Let me put this on this side. Okay. Now we can now get the midpoint. To get midpoint, we have type midpoint here. This is the upper, actually the upper low, this is the lower. This is the upper. I mean, this is lower class interval, this is upper class interval. Now, so the upper class interval are the 114, 170. So let's put them in 114. Okay, 170. We got 226, 282, 338, 394, 450. Then lower class here is 59, 115, 171, 227, 283, 339, 395. So that is if you have not gotten the midpoints already. But usually when you are making your graph, you get the midpoint at the same time. Now Now, this is the midpoint here. And let us add the frequency we have before we can now say, this is our frequency right here. So I'm going to copy it and paste it here for the frequency. So F frequency. Now, to get the midpoint, like I explained yesterday, you add these two numbers and divide by 2. I mean, equals, in parentheses, this number here plus this number here, then divide the answer by 2. And that will give you the midpoint for that class. So then you repeat it for all the classes. Now, the good thing for Excel is that once you get the first one, you can copy it down all the way to the end to get the whole midpoint. So that was the question you were asking me, right? I believe.
About the midpoint, yeah.
Now, we can now make our, remember the question was to draw the frequency polygon.
Mm-hmm.
Question was to construct a frequency polygon for the GPS navigators, okay? So, which means that we can just go straight and insert. So you highlight this, the midpoint and the frequency. Click on insert, then choose the line graph you need to. So I recommend you choose this one. So it will give you the graph right away. See? Now, the only thing that's for the frequency polygon, we have to close it on both ends. We have to close on both ends. So, but before that, we do that, let us format the chart first of all. So to format it, I'm gonna move this to the other side. So click on this plus sign so that you can add the axis titles. This is GPS prices. Okay. GPS prices. PS prices in dollars. Then this is the frequency, or you can call it number of GPS sold. GPS. That question, is it number of GPS sold? Actually, let me see the original question, see what it is about, and we can come back to this. Okay. It says, let's see the original question of it. It says, yeah, it says, okay. The following data set lists the prices. Navigators. Okay, the prices. Okay. That's the prices. They have just the prices. Good.
I'm compared.
All right, here, this is where we are. Now let's go back to Excel. So this is just the prices of that. I thought it's about GPS, number of GPS with the prices. This is the price. The price in dollars. So now, like I said, you have to close it on both ends. How do we close it on here and here? So we use the midpoint to close it. How do we
bring it
find
down to the lowest midpoint and then to the highest midpoint?
Yes. So you just draw it down here, but we have to get the actual number that we put. And
but you don't have to do this in Excel, do you? That you can do it another way, right?
Yeah, you can draw it with manual, with hand, where you use a graph paper and plot the
because
number.
when you turn in the homework and you do it on Achilles, can't you graph that on there?
The homework have a graph on it, yes.
Yeah, so you don't even have to.
So in the homework, they'll have the graph already drawn, and they'll ask you to pick the correct one.
Right. Okay.
So usually when you draw it on the Excel, and then you can look at what you have and the one they have, and then choose which one is the correct one from there. So what I wanted to show you how to close it is, if you look at this place, the class width, remember I told you yesterday, the class width is this number minus this number. So if you say 115 minus 59, You can do that 115 minus 59, 115 minus 59, that'll give you 56 as a class width. Now, the same thing with the midpoint. If you use the midpoint to subtract the midpoint, if we do 142.5 minus 86.5, it will give you the same 56. So that means that the next number here, after this one, the next lowest number will be 86 minus 86.5 minus 56, or just draw it down. So 86.5, 86.5, okay, 86.5 minus 56 give 30.5, which means that on the left side, you're gonna draw it down to 30.5, which will be around here, So you choose insert this line, okay, shapes, choose this line and draw. If for me, if you don't draw this line to close it, I'll still give you a full point. And that we fix the problem there. Okay. So you took care of this one. On the left side here, right side here, let's see where to close it. If you look at the midpoint, the last one is 422.5. If you add 56 to that, 422.5, you have 422.5 0.5 plus 56 gives you 478.5, which means that you're going to draw the line to 478.5, 478.5, which will be is outside this boundary here. So you can just put it the best you can. From here, it goes outside the boundary. So just you can just stop here, or if you like, I can extend it. Okay, and then that's took care of it. So now, if suppose that this is a project and you want to add this to your project, you click here and press Control C. Then you go to your project where you are typing your project, and then put Control V. Control V should be what is it? I think I opened so many things here that I could not see all of them. Okay, let me go down a little bit. Yep, I got it right here. It's right here. So you go down and click Control V. If you paste it on your project, then you can begin type your interpretation of your charts. Interpretation. It says here. So now, the GPS of, when I wrote the interpretation for this one, I was thinking that this was how much sold, but actually it didn't tell us how much sold. It was telling the prices. So this show that it's the same thing. You can see that it's the same thing. The same GPS that have a higher price range have a high price range here as well. So basically, they're telling us the same thing, except that this one is a bar graph and this is a line graph. So according to this, according to the frequency polygon, a frequency polygon graph, frequency polygon, you see that this we have more of the GPS that of the price range. Most of the GPS have the price range of, you can see the middle part here, I think about 140 something approximately. Let me say, we can only use the estimate. This is 150 here, so you should about 147. Okay, this from here all the way down to about 147. Okay, most of these GPS, majority of them. Now, that would be a very, to be a single number, but it still have a more price range. There are more GPS, more GPS with a price range, with prices of $147 compared to others. Again, like I said on the previous one, a journalist can write an article with this, you know, but we are mathematicians. We are very brief, and just give me what you understand from the chart, the best you can. I will take it. Now, in the homework, they will give you options of the interpretations. You choose the one that is the most likely one to be the correct interpretation.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. The 147, I don't know where you got that from.
Right here, look. See the dots, the highest peak?
Yes.
Actually, it was an estimate, but it's 145. Actually, it's 142.5, but here it's 150. So see, if you look at it, it's 150. So if you follow it from here all the way down, you see that it's very close to 150. You see it? Which is it's approximately 147. The 147 is an estimate based on what I have on the chart. Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So if I put like 148 or 149, I'm still correct.
147, 148, 146 within that range should be correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello. Can you explain the closing out? You said
because you know it's a histogram. So yeah, the way it is graphed in Excel is the way it should be without the closing out. Okay. But because it's a histogram, this is how because this is where it started. The midpoint started from here, right? If you look at the midpoint, see?
Yes.
It started from, let me see, move it a little bit. It started from 86.5. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it started. So that's why it's gonna start. But because the histogram is a polygon. A polygon is not a line. You have to close the polygon. So it make it look like a polygon. So that's why we subtract the class width on the left side and add the class. So once you subtract the class width on the left side is 86.5 minus the class width is 56. So 86.5 minus 56 will give you as like we did 86.5 minus 56, 86.5. 86.5 minus 56 gives you 30.5. That's where you close it on the left side. Then on the right side, so once you do this and get 30.5, then you go back to your chart and put a line from this point to 30.5, which is around this place. Then you repeat the process on the right side. On the right side, you add 56 to the last class, which is 422.5. Add 56 to it. It will give you 4 something. Then you now close it as well. Okay. And that will give you a closed histogram.
Okay.
See? So now it look like a histogram now. Sorry, it looks like a polygon now because it's now closed now, unlike before when it's just a line graph. Any other question? Good. So now you can go back to our notebook. You can see where they have something, the frequency polygons is closed out here. Now, next is the relative frequency histogram. Relative frequency histogram is just a histogram like every other histogram, except that in this case, we are drawing the class intervals against the relative frequency. Yesterday, I showed you how to get the answers for relative frequency. We divide each number by the total frequency. So let's look at this example here. It says construct a relative frequency histogram for GPS navigators. Yeah. So we have, in that case, we need the class. Either you use the class interval or you use the class boundary. It doesn't matter. Both of them serve the same purpose against the relative frequency. So we have it here. So in the Excel, I typed in this part. I type in the relative frequency, which is this, and then you plot a graph. So now let me take you to the Excel. Okay, we have it here. Now, this is the frequency here. Okay, I'm gonna copy this and then paste it at the end so we can have enough room. Okay, it is now pasted. So next thing is to get the relative frequency, RF. So first of all, let us find the total. Total is, remember when I told you yesterday that to do anything in Excel, to do any calculation, you put equal sign first so that it will be on the ready mode. Type total will be sum. Once you type it, come out, click, then highlight all of them. Close the highlights. And then enter key, 30. So now, for each of these, to get the relative frequency, divide each of this number with 30. For example, to divide this 5 divided by 30, you can say 5, click on 5. In Excel, / means divide, divided by 30. So 5 divided by 30, press the enter key to give you this. And then you can now copy it down to get the rest of them. Now, since we're using two decimal places, you can format this to 2 decimal places. You can just right click and you choose to format cells. Then choose number. And now you can see the decimal places. It's only 2 decimal places right here. So click OK. So this is the relative frequency. So to draw the relative frequency graph, histogram, you use the class interval and the relative frequency. So let me put them together. The class interval here, maybe here. And then we have calculated our relative frequency. So, okay. Okay, that paste numbers. Good. Now, you highlight the whole thing, then insert. Choose the bar graph. It is right here. Now, again, it gives us the numbers, and we can format it and then bring the bars together since it's a histogram. Okay, let's format it. Okay, format and put the axis. Prices, GPS prices, GPS prices. Then this is the percent, relative frequency is like a percent. Relative frequency. Yes, this is the price in dollars. In dollars. Okay. Now, we can now bring the bars together since this is a histogram. So we can go to the, when I close this, go to any of this bar, click on it, then right click on it. Once you right click, you can see format data series shows up. Click on that, and then you can now begin to reduce the gap. See the numbers, click on the drop down menu, the one that is going down to decrease the numbers. So as the numbers are decreasing, you click and hold, the bars will be coming together. See, they're coming together. If you're watching them, they will soon be closed. And then I usually stop at number 3 when they are close enough. Okay. Okay, that's it. Now, how do we interpret this? Now, this is a cumulative frequency histogram. So you can see that this one showed that about 20, this is 0.25, which is 25%. So about 28% of the GPS sold have the price of $115 to $170. Now about 20% of them, look at this one, stop at 20% of them, has a price range of $171 to $226, and so on and so forth. You can also see this in our notebook. Any question before I show you where it is located in our notebook? Any question on this? Any question, class? Hello?
No, no, sir.
No question.
No questions.
That is what they drew here. You can see it right here. So you can see that 20% of GPS navigators are priced 170, 50, and 226. That's what I just explained. One at 20%. Then the one that is that command higher price is the one that has been sold for $114.5 to $170.5. That's the one that is about 27% of them. So now the next graph we'll be looking at is one they call the cumulative frequency graph, or we call the Ogive. For the Ogive, we'll be plotting the class interval against the cumulative frequency. The class interval, they don't have the cumulative frequency here, so we're gonna get it for ourselves. And I think I showed you how to get it yesterday, but I'm gonna show it again. So you plot the class interval against the cumulative frequency. That will give you a single graph. So you see the class interval. And how do you get the cumulative frequency? You add the frequency to the next frequency. Then after you finish that, you can now make the graph. So I'm going to show you now in a few minutes. Let me take you to Excel. This is where we are. So I'm going to use this again, class interval frequency, and go down. Maybe I'll put in a sheet, the second sheet here, and make it bigger so you can see it. Okay. Now, so first of all, we need to get the cumulative frequency. So this is our cumulative frequency. Now, the first frequency is 5. Then it stays the same. To get the next frequency, you add this 5 to the next frequency. So 5 plus 8. So that will get equals 5 plus 8. And press the enter key and give it 13, so that when you drag it down, it will get the rest of them. See? So it is this number here, the class, and this frequency that you are plotting together to get the cumulative frequency. So let us separate them, or I can just delete this frequency column. Delete the column so that they will be together. See? Oh, excuse me. Let me undo. Okay. The best thing is to copy them and put them under. Okay. Then copy this one, the cumulative frequency, and put them here. The numbers. Now, to draw the Ogive, you can just highlight this. Insert. Again, I recommend you choose in this line here, this one here. It will give you the Ogive right away. See, go from here all the way up. Now you can format this, the cells, axis. This side is the cumulative frequency and this side is the axis title, which is the GPS prices. Now, if you like, you can remove all these grid lines. You can always remove them. Then this is the GPS prices here. GPS prices. So now look at this. So how do we interpret the Ogive? Well, remember the Ogive, you plot the interval against the cumulative frequency. So I have the okay, give me 1 minute. There's something that is missing here. Yeah, something is missing here. Let me redraw the graph again. I'm going to close this and redraw this graph. So make sure that it included the numbers. I'm going to put the dot period on it so that it can include grab the numbers, not something else. Okay. I'll give us, yeah, good. So the first one I draw, it didn't show me this number, so that's why I put the period so that it can show the numbers itself and not something else. Insert. Yeah, choose this. It's still giving me the wrong. I want you to change. You're gonna this axis is fine. It's just the right axis here. So I'm gonna figure out how to make it. Maybe I should use a different chart. Say, okay, I'm gonna use this and start. Now this one will not work. So I use this chart here, this one here, and it worked. So it gave me the actual numbers here. You can see right there. So for that cumulative frequency, it's better to use that chart. So it gives you the real intervals. Now, and then you can have the titles included. Okay. Cumulative frequency. The cumulative frequency. And then the prices. GPS prices. So now for this, cumulative frequency polygon, if you can see that from here, if you go up, you can see that this about 15 of them, this GPS, say 15 of them have the price range of about from 170. So if you put from 15 all the way down, comes here. So from 15 down, are you all there? Hello?
Yes, we're here.
Yes, sir.
We're here.
Yeah, okay. There's a small change I want to make to this graph. That's why I asked that question. Make sure everybody's here. Let me remove those dots. Let me remove those dots because it makes it a little bit. And try something else. We're almost finishing, so I know you are tired from work, but we're almost there.
And confused.
You confused? So you're confused?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're trying to draw the history, the Ogive, which is the cumulative frequency graph. So in that case, you plot the class interval against the cumulative frequencies. So the first chart I used didn't work for this question. It give me the correct plotting, but not the interval itself. So that's why I'm using this one.
So basically, like you, it's the same information that's off of the table, but he just putting it into Excel. But we can still use it on the table. So he's trying. It's different kind of graphs we can use to plot the midpoints. That's what he's trying to show us. But the Excel is what's confusing. But the table is just the same numbers that's on here.
It's the number, yes. So for each of them, the first one we drew was the histogram. The second one was the histogram for the relative frequency histogram, and the third one was the frequency polygon. Now this one is the relative frequency cumulative frequency graph, which we call the Ogive. So to do that, to do this one, you have to get the cumulative frequency first, and then you plot this number against the cumulative frequency. So the first two graphs I use, Excel have different graphs, different versions of the graph. Some of them might be suitable for your data. If it doesn't suit their data, you choose the one that best reflects what is in your data. So that's what I'm trying to do here. The first two I tried, the second one get it right, but I didn't like the way it put the numbers on the cumulative frequency, the intervals. So that's why I'm going back to it to draw that chart again. So you click on Insert. Again, I choose this. This is the one I showed before. It didn't work. So that's why I'm changing it to this one here. And I choose this one. This one worked. You can see right here. It worked. So basically, it gives you the numbers, intervals, and the frequencies, cumulative frequency on the left side. So now you can add the axis. So the cumulative frequency, and the axis, the price in dollars, and this is the GPS prices. GPS prices. So if this is a project that you're typing, you can just copy this, Control copy, Control C, and go to your project where you are typing it. I think this is right here. Scroll down. Give me 1 minute. Okay, and put Control V. It will paste it right there. So you can see from here, 20 of those GPSs have the price range of, if you follow it from here all the way to where it touched the graph and goes down, You see that 20 of them have a price range of about $171 to $226. And you can see that 30 of them, if you follow from 30 to this line to this point and all the way down, you can see that 30 of them have a price range of about 30 or more, have a price range of about $395 to $450 or less. I would say or less, price range of that amount or less. So this is the cumulative frequency polygon. Sorry, the cumulative frequency graph, or the Ogive. Any question on this one before we do our last graph for today? Any question?
No.
No, sir.
Okay, good. Now, let us go back to our notes book. I'll let you know. Then you can see right here, it is drawn. Okay. So from the Ogive, we can see that about 25 GPS navigator cost. See, you follow it from here, 25 costs about 300. See, it touches here and go all the way down. Costs about 300 or less. 300 or less. They'll have the greatest increase occurred between 114 and 170, which is be here. This is the price increase, where it rises sharply. And when you look at our own graph, you can see that it is there as well. It's there as well. Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I get the whole like cumulative frequency and the relative frequency it was. But I'm still confused in like the width and the boundaries. I mean, the boundaries, I get it, but when it's like if it's not a whole number, how do you find it?
The whole number. I mean
I'm confused about the whole damn thing.
the whole. Let's start from the first person. What whole number do you mean?
So remember when I said how do you find the class boundaries for 56 and 64? And you said if it's whole number, then you could just add for the upper class and then subtract for the lower class, I think. And but what if it's not a whole number? How do you find the class boundary?
If not a whole number, then you got to look at the let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say that you have this one. Let me get to where you have it. Okay, word. Suppose you have something like this. 22.5,
Mm-hmm.
and the class width is 5, right? You add 5 here, give it 20. If you add 5 here, give us 27, right? 0.5. If you add 5 to this. So, and then here we have this one goes down a little bit, 26.5. Let's say it's 26.5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep adding the add 5 because the class width is 5. You have 5 here. You have 26 plus 5 will give us 31, I believe. 27, 28, 29, 31, 31.5. Let's say that this is what you have, right? Let's assume that this is what you have. So in that case, to get the boundary for these numbers here, first of all, let me make sure this is this should be from 5.5. Okay. Now, suppose you want to get the boundary for this number here. In that case, what you're going to do is do 27.5, 27.5 minus 26.5. So let's do this on the Excel. 27.5. Okay, 27.5 minus 26.5 give us 1.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So then 1 divided by 2. Okay.
0.5.
1 divided by 2.5. So just hope this one, which is 1, then 1 divided by 2, they'll have 1 divided by 2, which is equals 0.5. Now, so if this interval are good enough, now in this section you subtract 0.5, and this section you add 0.5. But that is assuming that this interval I gave you here is the correct interval. I just use an example to show you. Now, so all you have to do is to sub this minus this divided by 2, I give 0.5. Now on this side, subtract 0.5, and this side add 0.5. That will give you the boundary. So
this one is 4.5, right? I understand that. But the question I have, it has like 0.8 and 0.0.
So give me an example.
So like 13. So it says find the class boundaries, right?
Just read what the interval they give you there.
The interval is 13.8 dash 16.0.
16.0. So how about they have to give you at least 2 of them?
No, they just gave us those 2.
Is it the same question you were asking me?
Yeah, like it just says find the class boundary, and then it just gives me those 2 things.
Are you sure that it doesn't start from the beginning? There's no place they have the list.
I promise.
Like this one, like here we have it. If you look at the what we are doing tonight, you will see that there's this place we're working with a number. We're working with this. They give us a table like this, first of all, where you have 2 numbers, at least all these numbers, this one. So usually you in that question, you should have these numbers.
Oh, well, it doesn't give us any numbers.
From there they will pick one of these and say, find the class boundary.
Right.
You sure you don't have it?
No, I don't. I can send a screenshot if you want, but it doesn't give. Well, it's just me because I feel like all the rest of the class, when they looked at it, it didn't give us the whole chart. It was just the interval, the 2 intervals.
That means the question is not complete, because what question number is that? So I can correct this tonight as soon as we finish this. What number is that?
Homework 2, question 3.
Number 3. Homework 2, question number 3. Okay, I'll look into it and see what is wrong with that question, because you should have this a table with all this. Then we can now pick only one of them and say find the class boundary based on this table. So so what you're gonna do is just subtract the first upper class boundary from the second lower class boundary. Then the answer you get from there, you divide it by 2. Now once you get that answer, you subtract that answer from the lower class boundary, so lower class interval, and add it to the upper class interval. That will give you the boundary.
Okay.
So look into that question, make the correction. How many of you have started that homework? How many of you have started that homework too? If only none of you have started it, that's even make it better. So I can just make the editing on it. So is that the only question that's had that issue?
No, the homework number 1, homework 2, question 1, homework 2, question 2 also is like.
Yes. The homework are 2.
Okay, that means only 2 of them have that problem.
The 2 are for class week.
Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them. Okay, that means you have to have 2 of them
Well, I stopped at 2-1 when I couldn't get the class week.
So only two homework. What number 2 and number 3? I got number 3. And which other number?
2 and 1. 2 and 1.
Yeah, 1,
two.
2, and 3.
Yes. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, I will check it and see if they have this chart, because that might be in 1, but not in 2. So it will be the same chart. Let me look at it now. See what you are saying.
Okay.
Let me look at it now.
You can't do it.
I go here.
When you heard.
Can't hear you very well. Can you speak out? Your voice is breaking up.
Professor, I'm lost. I'm just gonna follow directions. If I get
Homework right here. Can you see this? Can you all see the screen?
yes.
Yeah.
I can.
Homework. Okay. What question is that? I think I'm gonna go through it. Assignments. Okay. Homework 2. The content. Say what question? Question number what again? 3. Hello.
Yes, sir. 1,
All
2,
of
and
them.
3.
Just give us the answers to all of them.
1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. 1 by 1. Okay. It didn't give you the otherwise if it's whole number, like I explained, if it's whole number, you subtract. Okay, let me see, 0.5 on one side on the lower boundary and add 0.5 on the upper boundary. Now I'm going to edit that question. Let me put a new question on that will contain the information that you need for that. 2.1 exercise 5.
The problem I had was with question number 3, most importantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's the one that we're talking about. It's the same process. You need to have the list of the intervals. From there, you can now subtract the upper class interval of the first class from the lower class interval of the second class. The answer you get from that, you divide it by 2 to get the number that you'll be adding and subtracting. So using that number, you can now add and subtract. So because you don't have those lists, those intervals, so that's why I'm going to update these questions now so that you can see the interval. So again, the solution is this. Let me put it back to where you can get it, show you how to get the solution. The solution is this. It doesn't matter whether it has decimal or not. Just do this interval here, this lower interval, class interval of the second class, minus this one here to give you an answer. That answer I gave you, you subtract it from all the numbers here to get the lower class boundary. And then you add it to all these numbers here to get the upper class boundary. That's how you get the boundaries. So, but in this question, they didn't give you the actual interval itself or the class interval. So I'm going to add it so you can use them.
Okay, thank you.
So let me, I thought that it will usually add it on the point, but obviously it's not here. So I'm going to add it and then update it after the class, okay? So let's, any other question before we continue? Any other question?
No.
Any other question, class?
No, no, sir.
Okay. Let us do the bar charts. Well, bar charts is just like the histogram, but except that in a bar chart, the bars are separate from each other. So let me show you how to draw it. It says here, the height of some breed of dogs are shown on the table below. So these are the breed and the height. And they say construct a bar chart to represent this data. Now you can see that bar chart usually it's easy for mainly data that you have the names on the horizontal axis and then the frequency or the numbers on the vertical axis. So let's see.
Are we doing this tomorrow or are we doing this now?
That will be our last example for tonight, and then we will be done. Tomorrow we'll continue with the stem and leaf plots.
All right.
So the bar chart, we have it. We have I will call it Corey. It's 60 cm. I'm trying to write them down, then we can go and plot them. Chihuahua is 20. Labrador is 45. And Fox Terrier is 80. Then Pekingese is 40. It's a construct a bar chart for this to show this data set, So again, if it's in the classroom, you are doing it with a pen and pencil, you just draw the graph on a graph paper, put the names on the horizontal axis and the height on the vertical axis. Then you draw the bars so that each bar will represent the height of each of the dogs here. So let me take you to the Excel so you can see how we can do it. Have here. So these are the names of the dogs we are using. We have the Colray. The height is 60 cm. The other one is the Chihuahua. Okay. It's 20 cm. Next one is the Labrador. It's 45 cm. Fox Terrier. It has height of 80. And the last one will be Pekingese. Has a height of 40. So you say the construct the bar charts for this. All you have to do is to highlight it. Highlight it from here. And then insert. Mistake. It's 40. So just highlight it again. And then insert. Choose the bar graph that you need, this one here. And that's the bar chart right there. I can make it a little bit smaller so you can see it. So this is the height. I'm gonna put the axis. See the plus sign, click on it. The axis. This one is the height. Height. In cm, which is centimeters. And this is the dog type of dog, or I can call it the breed. Okay, you can call this child title as the heights by breed of dog. So so you can see the difference in a bar chart. The spaces in between them are allowed, unlike the histogram where the spaces are close together. The bar chart, they're allowed. From this, you can see that the tallest among them is the Fox Terrier, and the shortest is the Chihuahua. So you can see that the terrier, according to this bar chart, is the tallest of all the breeds, and the Chihuahua is the shortest of all the breeds. Any question before we finish? Any question before we finish?
Nope.
No.
No.
Now, remember, I also explained all these things in our notes that are the handout. So, and I think we have online tutoring sessions too. I'm gonna find out about it so I can put the message so that if you are confused, you can also contact a tutor online. Okay.
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 Now let me take your names and then we can leave. Take down your names. I got Ford. Got Vanessa. Vanessa, are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. Yeah.
Kent. Donson.
Yes.
Don is here. Okay, we have Kishona. Kishona, you here?
Yes.
Is it the same Vista Kelsey and Vista Binge?
Yes, Vista.
Have Taylor. Carrie, Taylor, if I call you can leave.
Did you say my name? I think I missed it.
What's the name again?
Moshe.
Okay.
Hammock.
Oh, Manger, right? I see it.
Moshe.
Yeah, Manger. Okay, that's how you say it. Okay.
Marsha.
Manger, I got it.
Okay.
I'm gonna call you, Marche. I'm gonna inbox.
Yeah, get up with me.
Takia.
All right.
Takia, are you here? Takia Docket. Okay, then next, Tiffany Walker. Walker, are you here?
Walker's here.
Okay, good. So I see you tomorrow, Walker. So Debbie, that's Debbie. Sherry is Debbie.
Darby is here.
Okay, good.
Walker's here.
Yeah, I have yours, Walker. I got it. Who else? Mr. Rita, I think, sorry, Miss Rita, I think I called you already, right? And then who else? I think yeah.
Dolly.
I have Dolly
Dolly,
already. I have Dolly.
Okay.
So who else is not here? I got Rita.
Did you
All
call?
right. I called all those that are here. I called them already, right? Is there anybody missing their name?
Rita.
I have yours, Rita.
Oh, okay.
Taji, Kent.
Yeah, I have you take Miss Taji. Got you.
Oh.
So I have everybody. So I see you guys tomorrow. Somebody's saying something. Can you say it?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Doctor. Thank you.
Now, you all have a good evening.